Hello and welcome everyone back to the OVRC. Welcome to Imola for round 3 of the OVRC GT3 Season 5. I am joined once again by Owen, and he joined us at the end of practice, as we're about to head into qualifying very shortly. So probably a good time to run over the current championship standings.
Green light, go, go, go.
Yep. So the car starts to roll down a very long pit lane for Imola. But it looks like Carlisle will be the first car out. Let's all start to queue up on the way. They get start rolling at 15 minutes of qualifying as per usual. And that is about to get underway. In terms of from what we've seen from practice, there seems to be sort of the standard lot up top end. Tom Potter's very strong. Hyler being up there, you know, Lawrence has been up there. So the standard sort of 3 top drivers at the top of practice. But let's see how everything turns out in qualifying. As,
I've just realized my mic was still muted on stream, so apologies for that, everyone.
It's been mute. It's just been me talking to myself now for the first.
Sorry, Alex, that must have been a bit embarrassing on the stream, but anyway, we go on to qualifying.
Yep. Once again, you can check the standings on the website. We did see them on screen though briefly, so.
Yep, they were on screen. You just couldn't hear me talking about them.
I was just saying, like, saying, oh, thanks for that. As nothing happened. So Whitford is overtaking Carlisle on the outlap there to get. So he's got a big bit of clean track ahead, as long as no one pulls out the pit lane. There's still 2 cars in the pit lane. There is Sebastian Brunier and Stephen Higgins currently still in the pit lane right now. So they're not the only cars that can realistically get in the way of Whitford, as he will start his first timed lap here at Imola. So
go for some onboard action with him.
Yeah, so he heads down the start-finish straight, which has oddly enough got a few little kinks in it, so it's not really straight. You hit the top speed here you get as you head into turn 1, very hard on the brakes here. You want to try and get over as much of the curbs as possible. Roll out and then on the way exit. You got a small little straight down towards Villeneuve. The corner. Yeah, it's Villeneuve. Again, right, left. Then once again, got the long Latosa. Quite a slow corner around this track. Probably one of the slowest, trickiest actually, especially in the exit. But then afterwards, you start to climb up the hill towards Penatella. Tap the brakes, get the car in, roll. Try not to go too wide, as this will penalise you if you go too wide there. We go down the hill to Camirale. Quite tricky braking halfway through the corner here, then get the car turned, up the hill you go. Towards Varialti Alta, the chicane at the top of the hill. And you can gain a lot of time here if you can nail it. Mark goes quite far over the curbs there, skips over them, gets a bit wide and exit.
Bit over the sausage curbs there.
Yep. Now starts to head down the hill towards Lavazza. Double left-hander. My camera angle's helping. On the way to the curb, then brake again, and then get the best exit you can, because then you've got a very long start-finish straight once again, and that's a lap of Imola. Very quick lap around here.
Yep, so he will cross the line right here, and not set a time. So that was an invalid lap. Adam Carlisle will be the first to set a lap then. That's a 1:43.9.
Nygaard goes to the top then. 141. Oh, then Lawrence goes to the top. So bunch of first laps now coming out. Yeah, so people got invalid laps. They're going wide at various points on track. Tom Potter's crossed the line. Goes to third. And Hyler goes to the top time of 141.2. So the pace being set fairly early on by Hyler, who's been strong so far all season, outside the times where he's forgot fuel exists. And if you listen to this later, Hyler, I'm sorry, but you can't live it down until at least the end of the season. As Hyler crosses the line and goes P3. A bit of a lull now as cars start to head for the second timed laps. Everyone's sort of headed out in one big pack there. As Timothy Glenigan's going on to do his first lap right now as he heads through Ravazza. He will cross the line. I'm doing just because the line goes P9. I'm paying much attention. So, Next set of lap times will be coming through now. Wareham Park's a bit on the apex then. Lots of time improvements. Olsen on improvement. Chris on the improvement right now. The two main things. Timothy Glenning on improvement as well. Still over just under 9 minutes to go in the session, so still a lot of time to make those improvements. There's a car on the wall there at one of the canes. Don't know why that is.
Seems to be Andy Gray. And we were right at the end for the replay there, so we didn't see exactly what happened.
Whitford's currently 6/10 up as he heads across the timing line. Now move himself up to P4.39. The fastest time.
Still stuck in the replay here for a bit, unfortunately. Apologies for that. Now we're back to live pictures.
Chris heading through Ravazza and heading on to the start finish straight now. He's 0.3 up right now. There's McLaren number 22. As he goes to the line, does improve his time, does not improve his position, though. The next few cars across the line will not be on timed laps, or if they are, they're 9/10 down the best, so which will be a Lila, so not quite the improvement you'd be hoping for. Technically, Glenning is moving by 0.1 as he heads up towards the chicane. Again, it's just a fast track, but it's quite a long track actually. Imola, it's deceptively long. So you go this way, it's just big, large gaps in cars. Also, everything bunched together. So I have a track map, and it's like a pack of cars, like 4 cars, just going around, but with massive gaps in between.
That Simon Anderson is 2/10 up right now.
Yep, so he is looking to improve his time, and there's a Ferrari, and we'll go P4.
Solid improvement. Falkenstein 6/10 up. Bolton 1/10 up as well. Falkenstein goes into P12. Dalton, I think, is in the same position.
Tyler across the line improves his time, but does not gain any positions because he is still on provisional pole for now. McFlude sets the time. It's the first time of the session. So a few small improvements out there. Lilo across the line and will not improve their time. In case with Castro.
Marcus Lawrence is losing time this lap. Does cross the line, but he will improve. Robert Nygaard is 8/10 up.
John Dalton 4 tenths up right now, but again loses a bit of time on the exit of Variety Alta, so seems to have lost it most trying to keep Carty within the track limits. Ultimately will cost him a bit of time. And he gains a bit of it through Varza. He can keep his momentum going as he will cross the line now and will improve his time, gets under a second, but no improvement in position.
Michael Castro is 9 tenths up right now. He comes around the final corner.
I believe he's invalidated his lap because I see a lot of blue on the track map. Just a lot of people either on the outlap or have invalidated the current lap time.
Yeah, so that was indeed not a valid lap. I got 4 tenths up.
Yep, as he heads down to the final 2 corners now. Yeah, it's now down towards the finish line.
Moves up to P9. As Mike Stoffmill has now joined us. And
Hey.
let's see if he can still get a lap in.
Just in time. He probably can get a lap in. Gotta load up whatever setup he has just lying around his computer right now. So far, a lot of people are just not really sending the timesheets alive right now. And Potter's across the line, but he's not on a significant improvement. But we'll see what happens. He does cross that line. Doesn't improve.
Nudie McFlude is 8 tenths up. That's a nice improvement. See if that's a valid lap when he crosses the line. And he does move up to P9. Then Carlisle 3 tenths up. He moves up to P11. And Michael Castro 8 tenths up. But won't be getting any positions here.
Tyler and Potter's currently both on improvements right now.
Mike Stoffmill is still in the pits. He's just coming out actually, but he doesn't have enough time for an out lap.
I might as well get a lap in just to see if everything's working correctly, but he'll be starting from the back.
On board with Hyler, and he's got Tom Posic right ahead of him.
Both of them on improvements right now. Yes, Hyler has lost a bit of time just now as he jumps over the chicanes, and ooh, the car gets a bit twitchy there. He might have lost some of that time. He has lost a bit of that time now. Can Pottage keep his time going? It heads down towards the final 2 corners right now. He goes 3 tenths up now, so Hyler's on a valid lap. This will not count. Pottage losing a bit of time on the exit there. See how much he will keep going as he crosses the line, and will take provisional pole with 25 seconds left. So literally 1 lap left for both of these, as Hyler might have a bit of traffic to deal with as the McLaren gets out of the way. As Anderson's a 2 tenths up as well right now, but he's got a chance to grab P3. Now he's 4 tenths up right now as he heads into the final corner.
Could be in contention for pole here.
Poch has aborted his lap. Anderson across the line. No, gets P3. Lawrence not proving enough really right now to possibly make a threat, but we'll see. He's 1 tenth up right now. Hyler's is 1 tenth down.
following Marcus Lawrence as he goes into the last few corners, but he is not improving.
Tyler gained a bit of his time back through the chicane, so. But saying that, he's lost on exit, so let's see what happens now as this checker flag be waiting. There's three more cars across the line. As Lawrence does not gain any positions. Can Hyler get pole right now? He's got to sliver it if he can. And no, he doesn't. He stays P2.
Just Chris Benches left now, but he is not improving. And he dives into the pit lane. So that is the end of qualifying. Tom Pottage takes pole position ahead of Masti Chaila and Mats Lynam Anderson.
Yep. As the grids prepare to grid up.
I think there's still some penalties waiting for some of these drivers as well.
Yep, so there will be penalties for Castro and Chris Beegers, as they had incidents last race. There'll be 10-second penalties.
And so we just continue waiting for the race to get underway.
Yep. So Pottage, let's quickly run through the grid. So Tom Pottage is on pole, followed by Lyle on row 1, Anderson and Lawrence on row 2, Ferrari second row, Whitford O'Leary row 3, BJ's Kerbal row 4, Dalton and McFood row 5, Nygaard Carlisle row 6, Glenning Bolkenstein row 7, Castro Higgins row 8, Wareham Erdman row 9, McRae Brunier row 10, and Stoffmore all on his own the final row. Under a minute until we'll be going racing. And there's another long legs showed up. Daddy Longlegs just showed up. There seems to be, keep coming to my room recently. I don't know why. It's like my room only. And then it's really annoying because they just fly around. They don't just sit there. Like spiders will just sit in the roof and just chill. These things just fly around like crazy and just get lost and hit everything. Anyway, rent aside as we are about to get ready to go racing. 20 seconds until the cars have to be ready. And second warning. As the cars should shortly start the formation lap around. So, Bottas pulls away as the rest of the field will start to follow. So we have a 21 car field right now, and I believe yeah, a decent sized field. Let's see what will see what happens. I think the top runners are fairly close. You got definitely got Anderson, Hyler, and Pottage all in a fight of the win here. But you never know, some people behind might have a chance if someone slips up. What you for Ben just Bit of shame he got a 10-second penalty for instant last race, because he would actually be in a fairly strong position this time around. But we'll see how the race comes out. Obviously, that'll be applied at his pit stop. So when he pits, he will just sit there for the next 10 seconds, which it will feel like forever right now, but we'll see what happens. At least there's not an extra stop and go. As I get confused by ACC's formation laps once again. What a confusing thing they are. I sometimes wish that ACC would just adopt like R-Factor and iRacing use, which is just having a standard pace car. Everyone just follows it. Otherwise, it's this weird mess where like, oh, Anderson's ahead of Hyler for some reason. Like, why? So over halfway done. Any predictions before we get going, Erwin? What are you going to be?
Well, I'm hoping for a close fight for P1. I think we're going to get it based on qualifying. That should get interesting. It'll also be interesting to see how far up the field Mike Stoffmill can get, because he is starting all the way at the back.
Yep, he's got to do that first to last to first challenge. The Mercedes is apparently quite strong around here, so be interesting to see. So the cars start to go 2 by 2. And it's quite a long run down to turn 1 at this track, so still a chance for something to happen into the first corner. We'll see. Cars behind will get quite a lot of slipstream from the cars ahead, so that should be interesting as the grid has formed up. We'll be starting to hit the speed limit now as look at that. Trying to tight that grid. As the lights will be going green. Do they go all the way? Oh, they go all the way. I forgot that. They go all the way.
Green light,
Oh, no,
go, go, go.
as they go racing. Good start there by Pottage. Hyler still alongside, who actually managed to get ahead of him quite possibly. The rest of the field, as there's a Jaguar off the track, as there's an Aston off the track. That's Carlisle pinged off as they rejoin, just ahead of Wareham.
Lexus spun around as well.
There's a few
A
cars.
bunch more cars spun around.
That's a few cars.
As Hyla has managed to get ahead of Tom Pottage.
There seems to be front-end damage on John Dalton's Ferrari. He's down the order. Nygaard's down the order as well. Whitford's also down the order as well, so he got involved in that start. As long as McRae, I'm not sure what exactly happened. There seems to be a lot of things happening into Villeneuve. Before Villeneuve, so wrong chicane. I'm really bad at the track corners names here. Lawrence has got ahead of Anderson at the start. As Anderson goes off a bit track, but regains position, and Tabal is currently P5. So what a good start from him. As the normal midfield pack has been jumbled up quite significantly after that incident. I want to know how Wareham got P10, despite the fact that he was off the road at the start of the race. He was on the grass and he's somehow going. So, the cars start to make their way. So one the Lila dives into the pit lane now, as well as I think there's another car of Carlisle as well. So a few early pit stops are taking place. I guess that is for damage.
That's unfortunate for those two.
The front fight for the lead is still the same as it was last lap. As currently Stephen Higgins is going to be the cork in the bottom as Wareham turns a bit on him and loses the position because of it.
He has a lot of cars behind him.
Yeah, Erdman's trying to have a go at him now, so Erdman, Higgins being the cork in the bottle. Let's see what happens now as Erdman goes down the inside, but Higgins hangs it around. Keeps ahead. He's head down the hill now. And not long ago, seeing Higgins not long ago saying how much he doesn't like to drive ACC. Meanwhile, he's holding all these other guys up right now. You know, let's see if his opinion changes after this. As the cars make their way through the chicane. So Elias made a stop and is rolling once again. Will he be ahead of the pack of cars? No, he won't, so he'll be a lap down as they all start to head through. But he has made a service stop. So
Wareham runs wide. There's going to be a bunch of cars overtaking him, possibly. And gets overtaken at least by the Friars Dalton, as he's now side by side with Glenning. And quick Stoffmill getting involved there as well.
Stoffmill going for a charge down the inside right now. Let's see. He's tries to do something on the brakes here. He will have the inside and will sweep just ahead of Glenning in there, but gets a bit wide on exit. Keeps it together. Where I'm dropping down the order a bit from P10. I think he's got quite the pace. Keep with these guys.
Stoffmill runs a bit wide, gets overtaken by 2 cars possibly.
Ooh. We'll keep holding the inside line going up the hill. He's got Whitford right behind him as well. So Whitford's possibly going to be trying to make a move at some point as he fell down the order quite a bit. Stoffmill will keep his P14 right now. As deep dive there by.
Ooh. There's some McLaren there as well. I think this was Brunier.
Yeah, he gets past by Dalton.
Have a look at a replay of that. He's fighting with the Audi. Looks like a bit of a late move from the Audi there and didn't really commit to it.
You have to be committed going down to a rut. So the car, you're going down a hill, you'll load the front up. The braking is way worse than normal. You just got to be careful, you know? I think he just misjudged it and turned the Mercedes around. And that's what ends Higgins' stonewall defense as he's relegated back down the order to P17. And Sebastian's got the front end damage now, all that as well. Allowed Dalton to get past him. Whitford down. Not Whitford. There. Stoffmill. Going to make a move now on Sebastian as well, and he'll get ahead. It hasn't not been even 10 minutes yet, and this has all happened so far. As Whitford makes a very aggressive move onto Glenning then. And will slip up his way behind Sebastian and head now up towards the chicane.
There's a look on the inside from Glenning there.
Going to see if he make a move back, but doesn't seem to have the speed as Erdman makes a move onto Wareham. And don't do it again, no! Erdman, man, you can't do it twice. You gotta be careful, man. He hits
I missed that on stream, so let's have a look at a replay.
Carlo was a lap down already, so not really what he wants to happen.
Ooh, that was a bit clumsy there.
Again, you just gotta be careful in that corner. You gotta be. That corner is tricky. It is a known tricky corner.
Sebastian Brunier's in the pit lane.
Yep. So he's probably making his service stop right now to get some of the repairs done as well. As McFluid is right behind Glenian right now. We need to make a move onto the Honda. The gap at the front has opened up to 1.5 seconds from higher to Pottage, with Lawrence hanging about half a second back as number 31 has just disconnected. I don't know who that would have been.
31 is Sebastian Erdmann.
So he's obviously had a spin or something and decided that, you know what, yeah, enough. Meanwhile, Falkenstein has got Castro and Nygaard behind him now, so he's so far been trying to do that, hold that pack up, as he's having quite a decent run right now with all the other incidents.
That was Sebastian Brunier stopped at the end of the pit lane. As yeah, Brunier is disconnected.
So that makes the grid down to 19, as Whitford's got ahead of Stoffmill, so lost a bit of pace. The gap's already open to 1.3 seconds.
Nygaard looking about ready to make a move on Michael Castro. Not quite enough there.
Yeah, you gotta be way alongside to make a move in chicane. But will he be close enough now? As there's a yellow flag for Carlisle and Higgins. So Higgins gets moving again, but he's got a lot of front end damage now on the front of that Mercedes.
A replay of that. Carlisle gets a collision with the Jaguar ahead of him, which then causes him to collide with Higgins.
Not the race you would have wanted, as Castro looks to make a move onto Falkenstein, but loses out in the end. Nygaard now right up behind him. We have a go now into the next couple of corners. Managed to recover fairly well on the exit there. As he gets a bit loose, and now got nowhere to go. Can't we go around the outside there, unfortunately, Nygaard? It's a bit too wide. Do that.
Higgins is into the pits.
Not surprising, given his damage on the front of that car. Lawrence has dropped back a bit from Pottage. There's now into Anderson right behind him, so maybe these two will swap positions, given... I believe they are teammates. I can't tell because they've got different liveries and most teammates run the same liveries. Let's see what happens as it's down the start-finish straight.
Rangers tries to make the move on Falkenstein. Sorry, that was Castro.
Yep.
And little look back at that. Exactly what happened here. So he ran wide, he goes down the inside, and just doesn't make the corner.
Tries to make a move now onto Nygaard going to turn one, but Nygaard Ooh, barely gets the back, nearly has to back out of it to not hit the Lamborghini of Falkenstein and loses the position because of it. Falkenstein probably the bit slow of the two cars here as Castro is looking for another move into. As the Lambo is skating across but keeps it together, Nygaard jumps in the opportunity. And will he get... No, he gets a lock up there and hits the Lamborghini.
Ooh.
And
Happened there.
I think a bit too much happened. I couldn't keep up. There was like one car going one direction. Probably worth watching the replay of that as all of them get back underway once again.
Well, to right the end of the accident there in the replay. I think there was a touch between the Bentley and the Lambo. Stephen Higgins has a 30-second stop and go penalty once he's coming to the pit lane, so he was probably caught speeding in the pit lane there.
Yep, that is the... Flew just go ahead of Glenningen at some point that lap as he's moved up to P13 and Glenningen's behind. As well, some of the pack is calmed down a little bit. Saying that, Nygaard's once again on the back of Falkenstein. He's trying to get away from the two WD Motorsport Ferraris. So lap 8 right now as he just head through the final two corners.
Nygaard has a little look down the inside of Falkenstein. Not close enough to make a move though.
As Higgins is off the track right now. As he is back in the pit lane, which suggests a retirement.
So
I've had this fight with Falkenstein and Nygaard. You can see the size difference of the Bentley and the Lamborghini. They're quite different.
yep.
Just generally, in terms of engine location, size, aerodynamics. It's just like, if you want an argument about what is GT3, it's just these two cars together. Now you're looking down the inside there, but it's not really anywhere. It's a bit too far back to make a lunge, and he somewhat seems to be, well, Whitford seems to be gaining a bit of time onto these two, so possibly wants to try and get the hurry up to make a move if he does so. As otherwise, gap ahead of them is quite large to Castro.
Softman in 12th position right now. Seems to be sticking thereabouts.
It seems to be closing the gap a tiny bit to Dalton. As Whitford does seem to be the faster of those two Ferraris. now probably within a second now of the Falkenstein-Nygaard fight. Well, it's just 1 second out, you know, so he's definitely visually is closer. As the 48, which is McFlude, is just existing.
Interesting.
And it's not existing as well as Nygaard goes down the inside of Falkenstein and once again makes contact.
It's a very unfortunate point for the camera we were using. A bunch of trees in the way. Let's have another look at that from the heli cam. So we can see it clearly. Nygaard moves down the inside. And yeah, I think Falkenstein just didn't leave the space there. And ran into Nygaard. I think it was probably fair for Nygaard to make a move there. But I don't think... I wonder if maybe Falkenstein just didn't realize he was there as he
it was quite a late
destroys the Pirelli barrier there.
It was a very late lunge by Nygaard on the Bentley. Like, so I can see probably why Falkenstein might focus on the apex and suddenly Bentley in the mirror. I said, oh, okay. Falkenstein actually managed to get off fairly unscathed from that as he's continued to going, as he's now got Whitford to worry about. So, you know, rather than a big Bentley, it's now the fellow Italian car of the Ferrari.
Yeah, these cars have a lot more in common than his previous competitor.
But they're both from Italy. They're
both mid-engine. Similar shape.
Similar shape, yeah, I guess.
Different different type of engine though.
V10 versus the V8 twin turbo, I believe.
Yep.
488 has. Is it?
It is.
As there's a few cars in the pit lane now. John Dalton's in the pit and Nygaard's in the pit lane, so a few scheduled stops a bit before the standard time for them. But obviously they're trying to use this opportunity while, you know, have a few incidents or make. I know the WD
I guess
guys...
maybe Dalton's idea is to get in before Stoffmill can try any overtakes, and it's just going to cost him time.
I think that. Plus, he probably realised that Falkenstein, to overtake Falkenstein's going to be a bit of work, so maybe if he believes he's faster than it, get the undercut in and see what you can do, as teammate is struggling.
Whitford is right up against the back of Falkenstein now.
Yep, he's been like this for a few laps now, and doesn't seem to be able to really make a
Dalton is about to rejoin the track.
He's going to join behind Imola, who jumps him. So Imola, with that early pit stop, has managed to get ahead of Dalton. So
board with Whitford as he is slipstreaming Falkenstein on the start-finish straight, possibly looking to make a move into turn 1.
Looks down the inside. The outbreak, he's alongside, and Falkenstein has to concede the position. Whitford moves up to P8. The next task is trying to close the gap to the cars ahead, which both have penalties for incidents in the last race. They'll be serving those again during their pit stop. Whitford definitely does seem to have some decent pace right now in that Ferrari, which is, to be fair, granted, he did qualify fairly well up the order, so outside of that, having that lap 1 incident, which fortunately did take out a large chunk of the field.
Yep, I've got an update from Snoody McFlude, and he just disconnected.
Yep.
A technical issue there, unfortunately.
As Castro spun at the chicane and he's back underway again, but definitely means he's at risk now.
What's happened there? Goes into the chicane, bit too much curb there. Keeps it just out of the barrier, maybe a little touch.
I'll suggest he makes a pit stop now. It's got a bit of rear end and front end damage, so you can try and repair those in the stop, but you're going to have a long pit stop regardless.
Stays out.
As Carlisle and Nygaard are currently close to each other right now towards the back end of the field. They both have made a pit stop. Both have somewhat been, well, Nygaard's had a bit of self-inflicted time loss. Well, I think Carlisle had involuntary time loss. Stopping tries to go around the outside of Castro. There's not any room there. But we have enough.
McRae is into the pits. Board with Stuffmill chasing down Michael Castro. Yes, oh, Castro runs wide. That allows Stuffmill to overtake.
The McLaren gets a good exhale there. He's actually still keeping alongside him right now as they head down into Avatsa. With the Stuffmill barely keeps on the track, which allows Castro to go back down the inside of the next corner. Stuffmill gets ahead.
Now Castro will have the slipstream up to turn 1. This could get interesting.
McLaren's not slow in a straight line, so he might have a chance, but he's a bit too far back and he gets a very late lunge. He doesn't do such a thing and stays behind, so Stuffmill will keep his position for a few more corners. As Cabal is exiting the pit lane now, so he's all the way up in the P5. But let's see where he ends up now as you have Nygaard. Oh, that's the wrong car, sorry. That's McRae exiting the pit lane. As Cabal will pull out now of the pit lane. Pick the wrong car. Will Cabal show up then?
Ahead of P12.
Yep, so he's still actually ahead of a decent number of cars.
Yeah, he's currently the first of the cars that have already made their stops.
So he's holding still a fairly good race for him right now. Nygaard is now behind McRae, so he's making his way back up after his pit stop, and he's dealing with a lot of cars which have also pitted as well, so these are all races for position.
Just back out of it there, in the entry of the chicane.
Back quite a bit out of it. It's now Carlisle to close the gap quite significantly. As we got 33 minutes mark is approaching soon, so we should see a few more pit stop cycles.
Nygaard slipstreaming McRae up to turn 1.
Whoa!
Goes to the inside. Bit sketchy there. Yes, oh! McRae runs wide.
Goes a bit deep into the corner and just holds in the position from Carlisle. Carlisle might have a go though into Villeneuve for a better run. But no, backs out of that. So I think McRae got a bit spooked then by seeing a Bentley appear on one side of the car and the other side. Stuffmill's behind Castro again, so Castro's managed to get ahead of Stuffmill. As we have another, as Lawrence and Anderson are now.
Castro runs wide again on the exit of the chicane. Don't know how many more times he can do that.
I think you get 3. Late move by Stoffmill there, deep into the corner. Keeps
too
on
deep.
the track though. But yes, a bit too deep and does allow Castro to...
Lawrence and Anderson are into the pits.
Looking a bit exciting now.
Stoffmill right behind Castro on their way to turn 1.
Castro hold the inside line, he does so. Defend this time. Imagine one of these will pit very shortly. Castro still carrying that 10-second penalty.
Anderson and Lawrence about to leave the pit lane. Right behind each other.
Have they? They've swapped positions in the pit stops. I do believe this already were swapped. I honestly cannot tell you. They pull out and they've got a few back markers to deal with as Anderson goes, nearly loses it as the Cray goes off the track.
It's sketchy there. Tom Pottage is into the pits.
So that's the leader now in the pit lane. Order's a bit like the track map is not helping. I don't know who's racing king now. There's cars everywhere. As you say, yeah, Stoffmill is now in the pit lane. You'll be the next cars to do so.
Stoffmill is not in the pit lane. Pottage is. Stoffmill still chasing down Castro.
Too much going on. Stoffmill is still chasing Castro, yes, as you say. As Whitford's into the pit lane now, Falkenstein's in the pit lane, Castro's into the pit lane. It seems like everyone is at halfway point now. Doing else, people go in. Or stays out. Tyler is on his own right now. Apparently.
Tom Pottage gets back out. At least he's about to. Bit of a long pit lane still ahead of him.
Be ahead of Anderson.
There he goes.
Yes, he will have Nygaard be the closest car, and he's a lap down, I quite believe. So not exactly a threat, as we've lost another car at some point.
Lost.
Are you sure?
I think it's just Higgins has disconnected. He was still hanging out in the pit lane earlier.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Whitford's back out. Falkenstein's back out. Castro is about to get back out. Hyla is in. Beentjes is in. And we'll have to serve that 10-second penalty for incidents in the previous race.
Stoffmill will be coming across the line very shortly, as he's by himself. And he's also like crossed the line, and he technically will have a lap led.
Yep. There he goes.
Oh no, Hyla will just count just ahead of him. Because his pit box is just ahead of the line. Well, Stoffmill nearly made the last to first challenge for a lap. Technically he's leading. No, he's done it. So
Hyla is back out. He joins in P2.
How far
ahead of Pottage.
Yeah, that's a big gap. Big gap. So Glenn, yep. And Jez is sitting there for the next 10 seconds as he swaps his tyres over, and he'll get rolling. So see where he turns out in the end. He's going to be behind Cabal. He might still stay ahead of Whitford. So No, he won't. I don't know. He's definitely staying behind. I just forget how long this pit lane is at times. It's so long.
There goes Whitford.
Gets underway.
Here's Gladning. There goes Falkenstein past him. Then is Olila. So it looks like he will be joining ahead of John Dalton. So sounds like he may be coming up. Yep, he is right behind. As now almost everyone has made their pit stops. Only Mike Stossmill has yet to make his pit stop. He won't be doing so for another lap.
He's leading the race. You know, he's going to hope it's a red flag now. This is his part of master stroke. It's a red flag. Hey, how would you even get a red? Well, saying that, I'm pretty sure the Mont Vert had red flags, didn't it? For reasons not as Hyler gets past some back markers of Wareham and the Jaguar. Steps in ahead. Anderson is also going to do the same on Nygaard very shortly.
We got an update from Sebastian Bernier. His load cell thingies on his pedals were breaking, so that's why he had to retire.
That's sort of, when it's your hardware that breaks, it's often the worst sort of time. You know, It's just you don't want that. You don't want your hardware to break. Look after your hardware, kids. Make sure you look after it and take care of it. So, Dalton on the back of Glenningham right now. This is a fight for P11 in the standings. And Elia is also back on Falkenstein. Who should have had, unfortunately, again, one of those drivers which got caught out in that lap 1 shenanigans, I guess is the term we'll use now.
Mike Stoffmill is into the pits.
Yes, he's in the pit. We're going to see where he does end up. He'll be quite far down, I imagine. I don't think he'll be in the lead. As Hyler will come. And now as... Yeah, no, that gap to Hyler and Pottage is...
Dalton just getting past Gladdening.
Yeah, so he does get ahead of Groningen, so let's see if there's anything to fight back with.
I already see Stoffmill losing a bunch of positions during his pit stop. Just got passed by Whitford there.
Yeah, so he's going to have Benjez as well as getting past, and he's going to have possibly Falkenstein or Lila as well as they come steaming down. No, he's actually just enough ahead to keep ahead.
Yep, he's in P8. 9 benches.
Still got a bit of front end damage, so I guess he decided not to take repairs to try and keep track position. As Pottage is trying to deal with some back markers right now. Does quite an aggressive move on the Jaguar. He wants to get it done because obviously Anderson is closing behind him.
Dalton still defending from Gladdening. Lila still chasing down Falkenstein.
Yeah. Do wonder if they're slowly closing the gap to Stoffner as well. Stoffner's not really pulling away or closing the gap to anyone around him, so I feel like he's not really got the pace to catch anyone in that car.
Like a bit clumsy for that corner for Falkenstein as they are now side by side heading into the chicane.
Yeah, Falkenstein looking at the inside though and goes straight over the sausages, and Eliza's the same. A bit clumsy by both of them going through that. You can't really go side by side through there. But Elia will drop behind. No, Falkenstein drop behind Elia though.
So right now things are looking pretty good for Hyla. 9.7 seconds ahead of Tom Posic in P2. All on his own. Don't seem to have any traffic to deal with for a while.
There's a few cars that are sort of in their own little spaces right now. Obviously, Glenning's behind Dalton, being the main one right now, but Falkenstein's slowly losing touch.
Oh, Hyla runs a bit wide there. Oh, he spins! The leader has spun.
Does have enough time to get going again?
There's Tom Pottish, there he comes.
Will he be close enough? He's going to be at full racing speed. The Audi won't be at full racing speed. I think he's just lucky enough he's got back up to speed again as he goes through his next few corners, but Tom Pottish is right behind him. I didn't even talk about him. I was just saying there's big gaps everywhere, and then something like that happens.
Yeah, just as I was looking at him as well, I think that was a bit of a commentator's curse.
The Hyla keeps going once again. I'm not sure what happened. I guess he hit too much curb. The Audi sort of just did this Audi thing. Audi's quite a
I think he ran a bit wide on the first part of the chicane there. And so he ended up in the grass and spinning around.
Hostage is looking down the inside of the chicane, but decides against it. Probably the wiser move for now. Because can Hyla get back up to pace again? Or does his tyres need a bit of a break? I will wonder. As we have another spinner, that's McRae. He's in the facing the wrong way right now.
Up on there. Go for a replay. He runs very wide and spins it around at high speed. Keeps it out of the barrier though. No damage.
The Hyla seems to start pulling the gap out again.
Ray has disconnected.
This Hyla has the pace once again. But yeah, no, that spin, bit of a scare. Probably he might rein it a bit in now, if I was him.
Yeah, if he does that again, he's going to lose multiple positions, I think.
Yeah, we'll see what will happen as Burning's holding on to Dalton fairly well, but I'm not sure he's got quite enough pace to really make any move happen. Saying that, he's got a decent run now at the final corner. Will he have a go at the Ferrari now? Dalton will hold the inside line, I suggest, as Lynn goes around a long way. But is not. Can't really get the outbraking maneuver done. The slot in the behind once again. As Nygaard and Wareham having a battle, but Nygaard does slot in ahead. Nygaard moves up to P14.
Sitting still close to the back of Dalton.
Quarter of an hour left to go in the race.
Sitting possibly going down around the outside here.
Gonna try and cut back. Nope.
Nope, not quite. Just behind on the straight again. Not close enough.
Nope. The best pass spot is to get a decent run through that corner.
The sideline is a 1.4 second gap to Pottage again, so it doesn't seem like Pottage has the pace to keep up with Imola.
Not quite, no. He's a higher, yeah, he's been having strong pace all race so far, so be surprised if he didn't have that now. I think once things have settled down once again.
Pottage is keeping the gap to Anderson though. So it looks like a safe P2. Not trying to curse him there, but...
What's that? I see a yellow flag. Oh. Anything to have a go right now? Pass no. You can't. Again, that chicane, you get a good run out of it, but you just wish it wasn't there.
Get wide for Gladdening. Too much distance between them now.
And once again, things have calmed down a tiny bit. There's just over 12 minutes. And, yeah,
12.5 minutes.
12.5 minutes, yeah. There's, again, the gap's sort of forming again. We had quite a little initial rush towards the start as everyone was out of order because of the early crash. I'm still not entirely sure what happened during that crash. I would love to see it later. Because I feel like it's not. It probably is someone being a bit clumsy and going, just not expecting cars to go side by side that early on, causing it. Because it seems to be a lot of the mid-end front runners sort of getting caught in that. People getting off tracks around the place. So, like I say, expect a bit of caution. There's definitely are some people which are dropping pace-wise. Lawrence has dropped off the back of Anderson quite a bit. 5.6 seconds back. And Kerbal is still holding a good spot on P5 right now. Whitford.
Flattening down the inside of Dalton. And he's made the move.
Feel a bit sick and tired being stuck behind that Ferrari. Let's see if Dalton's got anything
Yeah, exactly
to
what
respond.
happened there. In the early part already here, I'm gonna look on the inside. And then I think Dalton just skipped over the curb a bit there. And that's cost him some speed and allowed Flattening to overtake.
Elias having a go at Wareham right now down to turn 1. As they both make contact and Wareham gets shoved a bit off the road a bit by Carlisle then.
Let's have another look at that. Just missed it on stream as they go into turn 1. Carlisle on the inside. And yeah, a bit of a touch there. Guess maybe that was just Wareham turning in a bit too much.
The sophomore's winning a second of Chris now. But people starting to close the little gaps now. The gap between Glenn and Dalton increased so to 1.2 seconds for the last timing sector. As Dalton gets a bit sideways. Entry then, so struggling a bit with the car right now.
Board with Stuffmill chasing down benches. Was a second faster on the previous lap. Don't know if anything happened to benches on that lap. So, let's see what they do this lap. They cross the line. 8 tenths faster for Stuffmill. So benches not really having the pace right now.
He's struggling a bit higher life at this stage. Possibly, because he was holding his own for quite a while. Let's see if Stockwell can make the move happen. Closing the gap is one thing, overtaking is another. As Dalton is definitely losing time now to Glenningen, so he's gone too far as Nygaard gets a drive-through penalty. Or, I'm assuming, extending track limits. So you'll have to serve that before the end of the race.
Stuffmill getting real close to the back of benches now. They are coming close to the chicane. There's a bit of time there, so I'm not really set up for a move into these couple of corners. As Nygaard is into the pits to serve that drive-through penalty.
Yeah, which unfortunately will put him at the back of the field. Not a great race for Nygaard this time around, which is had time away, showing decent pace, but I think it's got too many incidents. And
looks like Stuffmill might have a run on benches on the straight. We don't even have to wait until turn 1 to make a move here.
Let's see.
Looks like, yeah, he will have to try it though.
Tries to outbrake him. Is eventually has to concede the position. Stoffmill moves up to P7. So not a bad result from starting from the back.
Yeah, not bad. Doesn't seem like you'll have time to try and catch up to Whitford though.
Yep.
We'll be defending that P7.
There's 6 minutes realistically to go. As well on lap 31.
Imola already has a 5.7 gap, second gap to Pottage.
And what's the scarier thing is that Anderson's not really gaining in Pottage. It's not like Pottage is being much slower. It's just Highland has so much more pace right now in that Audi.
Yeah, Pottage is still the second fastest car on track. Imola is just that much faster than him.
Last time we raced here, the most competitive cars were the Audi, the Mercedes, and the Bentley.
Yes, Imola runs a bit wide there.
Yeah.
See what exactly happened. Just a bit clumsy. Guess maybe a bit too much speed. Not quite sure. It didn't hit the curb or anything.
It's a bit fast. Pushing a bit too hard. Trying to eke that lap time out. When you're on your own like that, it's... You gotta keep something to keep you focused. Because if you don't have anything, you just make mistakes.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to try and not go off track too much though. Let's probably concentrate on that.
Has closed the gap to John Dalton massively over the last few laps. He's right behind him. Mr. Guy had a 10-second penalty, so he's looking to make any move he can right now. Hopefully this time cleanly. His error at Spa was interesting when reviewing it. Went a bit wide on the final lap as well. Went a bit wide, and then at Blanchimont, cut over the grass, got back on track, and then run into the Jaguar in the final corner. And that's why he got a 10-second penalty, because he made contact and gained an advantage. It was pretty, self-explanatory. But let's see if we can do anything in the last 3 minutes. He goes for dive down the chicane and just keeps it there. Has to go out wide on exit. And Dalton will keep the position, but opportunistic move then, and Dalton avoided it very well.
Ooh.
Oh, as Dalton goes over the curb and hits Castro, but Castro keeps pointing forward and Dalton loses position.
A little replay of that, see what exactly happened to Dalton. They have a weird line there. He was in the middle of the track when he didn't need to be.
He thought he needed to try and defend the corner. Yeah, very lucky they both got away with that, because that was a Interest, mistake then. Just
Yeah.
Castro is trying to pull a gap now.
It looks like we're going to get one more lap after this one, judging by where our leader, Musichaila, is right now. He's just making his way down the hill.
Yep, he's heading into final corner now.
Yep, and so our leader will be starting the final lap.
Alright man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
Let's see what happens in this final lap. Seems that most gaps are somewhat, again, stabilized a bit, but you never know. Something might happen. More people dealing with back markers right now.
Position in the background there. 6.2 second gap now.
And the gap with Anderson is closing 2.7 seconds. But I don't think it's going to be gaining enough time over his last laps to really make a move. Two more corners now for Hyler to go.
Yep. He goes down the hill once more.
Under the bridge. On the brakes one more time. Bit on the grass there, but keeps the car pointing forwards. Now has to just keep his foot to the floor right now. He's just going to... Celebration weaves a bit as he'll cross the line to win round 3. Hyler takes the checkered flag. Tom Potter's been next to cross the line as he will bash the wall in celebration, I guess, and gets P2. Anderson P3. Lawrence, who's quite far back from those two, will be the next car to cross the line. As he's about 20 seconds back, I believe, so normal front runner. Struggling a bit this week. Pace. He'll cross the line now and finish his race in P4. Meanwhile, Benjamin Kerbal, who's managed to hold on P5 for, I think, the majority of the race, has had a fantastic drive now to finish P5. Mark Whitford home P6. Mike Stoffel, who started from the back of the grid, will come home at P7. Benji a penalty, will finish P8. Alila, who had an unfortunate race, will come home P9. Falkenstein will be next. P10. Some people leave, and so my positions are out. Glenn going to be next, followed by Castro and Dalton will be the last two to finish. And that has been round 3, and so Hyler is your winner, followed by Tom Potters and Anderson being the top 3. Lawrence, Cabal, Whitford, Stoffmill, Benjers, Olida and Falkenstein are your top 10. So that was quite a hectic race, I would say.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, but quite enjoyable. Few incidents, but also a lot of close racing. Which is what we like to see, of course.
Yep. There's a bit less incidents going on, but obviously those will be reviewed later by the stewards, and necessary penalties for the people which have done bad things will be handed out. So thanks once again for everyone for tuning in today. Hopefully it's been enjoyable to watch. Hopefully my messing up names, corner names, drivers, whatever, has not been too bad.
Yep.
I I
hope
messed up
you
a few times.
enjoyed it. And if you did, we would really appreciate it if you would click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to catch the next race, which is in 2 weeks' time at Silverstone.
Yep. So yeah, until then, everyone should stay safe and bye.
Yep. Goodbye.